Hello everyone, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is an early episode because the thing about it is when I begun creating these lives, it's really a lot for me to just be able to express what I'm feeling. What am I inspired to share? And what am I inspired to inspire other people by? And so sometimes I'm flowing through, I want to do these on Wednesdays. It might make it till Thursday, but I'm inspired to share with you something that I believe is basically just coming into me, right? Some people might call that channeled. Some might have said, well, in meditation or prayer, these things came to them or whatever. But I wanted to talk about where I am, where some folks are, and I wanted to start out by talking about the morning. So today is a fun and exciting day for me because I'm getting to go over with some friends that I already know and some people that I haven't already met before to our local art center here in our community and participate in a portrait modeling session this morning. And that's kind of exciting because I know that probably a lot of you guys don't know this about me, but I actually used to model when I was young, when I was a teenager before I had children. And it was definitely a journey that I think a lot of people thought, maybe far-fetched, maybe dream, maybe, I'm not sure exactly, but I think that there was a lot of people, certainly within my family, that believed that there would be an opportunity for me to chase some of those dreams. And my path went a little bit of a different way, which I think is exactly, no, I don't think it. I know that I'm here today, exactly where I am today, because of exactly what has happened and how I got to where I am today. And those of you also may not know that I actually have an adult son. He's 21, and a daughter who's going to be 17 this summer. So I have kids that I have been raising over the last 20 years of my life. And I'm still a very young woman. It's exciting to be, I always wonder, how did I get so old? What is that number that exists over there? Well, one of the things that has happened for me over all of these years is that the mornings have been a time of challenge for me, but they've also been a time where I've begun to learn what it is that I want from life. And one of the things that I've learned, outside of the fact that when it's freezing cold in the wintertime, and for us, freezing cold down here, well, we actually know what real freezing cold is now. But in the past, we could say freezing cold might be 55 degrees, right? Wake up in the morning, it's dark outside, it's 55 degrees. It's too cold, we don't want to get out of bed, right? But I think for me, for many years, there was a lot of denial. There was a lot of, I don't really want to truly get up. I don't want to see what the day is going to bring to me. I don't want to face the challenges that the day is going to bring to me. And with a lot of experience with post-traumatic stress disorder, a lot of experience with pain, a lot of experience with sickness and having to learn how to heal and all those kinds of things. There was many days, darkness with my mental health, all of those types of things, where I truly didn't want to wake up in the morning. I truly didn't want to wake up in the morning, and I didn't see any hope in the morning. And then I got to a stage of life where I began to overcome that, and I began to go to bed with a different mindset and wake up with a different mindset in the morning and take in some of the things that I had been learning about really appreciating just where I am, this present moment, that everything's okay, that I'm in my comfortable, warm bed, my sheets feel good, that my coffee is delicious. Good morning, hello, and that I'm just really enjoying the day and that there's hope. And one of the things that I've taught over the years is that every morning is a new opportunity to start over again. Every morning is a new opportunity to start again. But one of the things that I have recently learned, and I think over the last year, as I've been going through a lot of healing, because I knew that when 2019 happened and I began to see some real health issues with my life, and then I switched away from the organization that I had founded all those years, and had given, literally was like my third child, had given my entire life to it, and didn't know a lifestyle without it. It was my lifestyle. The organization, for the most part, built from the beginning, was my lifestyle and what I believed was important in this community, and that's how I worked. So when I moved away from it, there was a big separation, a big bit of anxiety, a big issue with, can she step away from this gracefully and leave it in a state that can be picked up and carried. And that was a big time for me. That was a big moment for me. But had I any idea that it was going to be a big, big moment for the entire planet? Did I really know that? And I believe that back in 2010, back in 2011, 2012, kind of in those years, when I was going through another big transitional moment, a chapter turning point in my life, I believed that this was coming, but I didn't really understand what any of that meant, and I certainly wasn't in any kind of like true alignment. I was doing a whole lot of what often is called manic manifestation, work real hard, and then take up 2 months off of my life in order to regain energy again. And that's a lot of the compassion that we currently understand how to give. It's a lot of the energy we currently understand how to give. But there's a whole lot more people in this world that are learning the next step. What's the next phase of kind of some of these things? And I'm talking about this in this way because I think that some of us are still in a space where just waking up in the morning and enjoying where you are and recognizing that every morning has its own hope. Every day has hope that is its own, that is got some opportunities for that. But then there's another level, there's the next stage of leveling up, which says, but I have to find that melody alone. And that means I have to find that note. I have to find what that whistle in my heart means that is beyond what someone else is doing for me. That I'm my greatest priority in life. And that making myself happy and being hopeful in my dreams and doing what's right for my self-care is my priority in life. And recently we were asked a question on the podcast that Joe and I do together called Dinner Table Talks. Launches every Monday. If you're interested in checking that out, you can just go to dinnertabletalks.com. It will help you find it. But we do a question at the end of every episode called from a deck we pull called Table Topics. And this week's question talked about, is it better to, or would you prefer to love yourself but be hated by everyone else, or hate yourself but be loved by everyone else? And I will tell you that in a decade ago of my life, I probably would have said, because of my personality, because of my moon signs and all of those types of things, I'm a campaigner, I'm a networker, I'm a shapeshifter, these are all things that were a part of my egoic makeup, myself, up into this point where I am in my life. And I would have said that I would prefer to hate myself but be loved by everyone else. But now, at this point in my life, I have learned that the best thing I can do is to love myself. Because whether everyone hates me or not doesn't really matter at the end of the day. The only thing that matters is whether I love myself. And the great epiphany of that is that if I love myself, truly love myself, not egoically proud, not telling you I love myself, this is a big part of me, and this is a big part of, I think, kind of the strength that I have come from in my life. But I am afraid that you don't love me enough, so I'm going to shout louder how much I love myself. It's not that kind of egoic love for self. It's not that kind of selfish love. But it's a love, an internal love for the idea that I am Aislynn. And I am great, with that F word in the beginning of it, right? Because I am amazing and wonderful, and I am connected to the greatest source of all. I am connected to love and light and God. And at the end of the day, what's great epiphany of all of that is that if I love myself, and it doesn't matter to me if everyone in the world hates me, everyone in the world won't hate me. That won't be the reality. And anyone that does hate me just simply won't be in my space anymore. They won't exist in my world anymore because I love me. And if I love me, I am attractive and I am love and I am light and I am pulling in people that love me for me. Not because I shape-shifted to be what they wanted me to be. Not because I was taught by a book what I'm supposed to do. Not because a coach told me that if I lived my life like them, then I would be loved. None of that. But because I found the melody alone. Because alone I figured out what makes me filled with joy. Because alone, with my own melody and my own song, in my own internal core, in my own heart, and my own heart center, that I know that I am worthy of all the love in the entire universe. And that there is no one more valuable than me. There is no one less valuable than me. There is no one more valuable than me. And so while every morning there is hope, I have to find the melody to that song. So I can't count on the person laying in bed with me to make me happy. I can't blame the person in bed with me for making me unhappy. I can't expect all my virtue and money and goodness to come from my parents or my children. It has to come from me. And the thing about it is, especially when you have young children or even teenage children and college students that are all kind of developing and growing or whatever, when you teach them that internal love is the first and most important thing and what connects you with the love of God, which is greater than any other source that can be taught on this earth, then you begin to understand that your children are carrying on in a way that really has nothing to do with you, but is nothing but light and love and kindness and greatness, and that they love people around them and that they're sharing that same type of love, and that every morning when they wake up, there is hope, and they themselves have found the ability to find that melody to that song that is in their heart, that inspires them, that helps them to reach out and connect with the desires that they love most, the things that they most dream of, and that there's hope. And the thing about it is that our kids have so much more hope available to them than we do, because we've put brick upon brick upon brick upon brick of the rules to what makes us happy. Who makes us happy? What we have, does that make us happy? Where we live, does that make us happy? And I will tell you, in my area where I live, and probably a lot of you that are listening probably live in the same area than me, but there might be some others that don't. But I live in an area that has lived through decades, a solid 40 years, maybe 50 years of lack, poor mindset. Not to say that everyone was poor, but generally speaking, we lived in a lack mindset. We weren't taking care of things that mattered. We weren't cleaning up after ourselves. We weren't taking care of our health and wellness. We weren't speaking kind words about the community that we live in. We weren't looking for the beauty, we were looking for the angst. And I promise you, whatever you're looking for is absolutely what you will find. So every morning, when you wake up, recognize that there is always an opportunity for hope. But at the end of the day, did you give yourself an opportunity to access hope? Did you look for hope? Did you look for dreams? Did you look for beauty? Did you find places to take care of self? And I'm not just talking about massages, although those are fantastic. And I'm not just talking about pedicures, although those are nice. And by the way, if you're getting a pedicure and you're spending the entire time flipping through your social media, you're probably missing out on the opportunity to actually connect with another human being and feel the self-care around yourself. And that's yours. That's where you are. What are you distracting yourself from? Because you're afraid that you won't be able to yourself, within your own self internally, to come up with that melody to the song that makes your heart sing? Because you're numbing things, and we all do. Don't mishear me. I numb like crazy. I have found that and this is why I named this particular, I listen to the Avett Brothers pretty regularly, and I have found over the years that they've grown. They grew through some things, and they sing about it. And I think that that's the beautiful part of music for many people, and children and youth that are so enthralled by music, that are looking, they're seeking, they're looking for hope. They're looking for someone outside of themselves that gives them something. But if they can find the melody to the song inside themselves, then they can create their own greatness. And it might be music, and it might be a Minecraft world, it might be the next app, it might be the next, not just the next idea of how to manage waste and how to alchemize waste, which I hope to talk about more, alchemizing waste in the future. How to clean up this world, how to live off the grid when we need to and live on the grid when we need to. All of the answers are inside of them, but we've got to encourage them and ourselves that every morning when we wake up, while there is hope in every morning song, we have to find that melody alone. And I enjoyed this day very, very much, spending this morning with you guys. And I would love it if you guys would jump on, say hi, say that you caught it, that you, anything that this made you think of in your life. If this inspires you to do something more beautiful with your day, I would love for you to share what it inspired you to do today in your day. And if nothing else, go out into the world knowing that I love you and that you are full of the greatest amount of love and life that could even be imagined. Not that you can imagine, but that can even be imagined. And if for only 5 minutes you sit and think about how wonderful, amazing, valuable, and worthy you are, you will step one step closer to finding the melody to the song that makes your heart sing. And when that occurs, you will help everyone around you find the melody to their song. But at the end of the day, there's no evangelizing. It's your job, and it's yours to figure out. And those are your problems to solve. And that is your song to sing. I love you. I hope you have the best Wednesday ever, no matter where you are in the world, no matter where you are in this whole conversation, no matter what space you currently live in and where you want to go. I hope you have the best day ever. And I know that I love you. Take care.